All right, class. So today I am going to show you how to create an image in Illustrator, um, creating outline, and then filling it in with color, what tools that you would use. So what you're going to do is open up Adobe Illustrator, which if you look at the top of my screen, the orange icon that has uppercase A and a lowercase I, that would be the symbol for Illustrator. Then what you're going to do is File New, and you're going to open up, it'll give you options. You could do just a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can hold it, the orientation can be vertical or horizontal. I'm just going to do vertical for now, and it's going to open up an image. You can see that Illustrator is very similar to Photoshop, where you have your layer bar and you have your toolbar. All right, so the tools that I'm going to show you today include your paintbrush tool, your blob brush tool, and your eraser tool. Okay, very simple tools today. Your layer bar, you'll see your layers don't really work the same as they do in Photoshop. So for instance, I could draw a line, draw another line, and what's going to happen in my layers, they're going to show up as two different paths. Okay, using my selection tool, I can actually select each path and move it, scale it, transform it as you would in Photoshop. Okay, but you don't have to be on that layer like you would normally be in Photoshop. All right, so layers are really a place to organize your objects. So we're going to create two different layers. You can look at like folders. The top one's going to be called outline. Now the one thing is you want to make sure that you're on that layer when working. The bottom one is going to be called color. So you're going to be just creating an image of something. If you wanted to create an outline in Illustrator, you want to use your paintbrush tool. Okay. Your paintbrush tool creates a line. So if I were to click on my selection tool will move the line. My direct selection tool, which is next to it, will select the line. And if you notice, my line is a line segment with lots of points around it that I can actually physically go in and move myself. All right, so that's a line. My blob brush, which is underneath the paintbrush tool, that would be for like filling in color. So let's say I wanted to color in a block of color, okay, like this. If I wanted to change the color, I could select it. This is for outline, this is for filling in color, okay. So in order to change this outline, you have to change the outline stroke of it. Okay. This would be for changing a color of a shape. Okay. Now you can see that the difference between the two. Let's do a darker color so you can see. When I use my dark selection tool, this one has a line segment that runs through it. So when I click on an anchor point, I can move that line. Okay. This one, when I select it, it selects as a shape, right? So whatever you color, it selects as a shape. So you never want to use your paintbrush to fill in an area because it's just going to be seen as an outline. Okay, so this paintbrush would be used for outlining. Your blob brush is for filling in color. Now if I go up to my layer, you can see that everything that I did is in my outline layer. So you can look at it like little folders. I don't have to actually drag it to the garbage can to delete it. I can actually select it and delete my objects. All right, so for this assignment, what I want you to do is play around with your paintbrush tool, so creating a line, okay, understanding how to change the color of it. understanding how to change the size of it. You can change the type of paintbrush, how thick it is. You can change the shape of the paintbrush if you wanted it to have like a little bit of a curve. So that would be for outlining. Then I want you to, be aware of your blob brush. So creating a color, okay. I'm sorry, blocking a color, changing the shape of a color. You lower the opacity of it, okay. Get a pattern to it. So understanding the two. Then what I would like you to do is create a picture, making sure that your outline is in your layer, in your outline layer, and your color is in your color layer. So if I were to start with an outline, let's say I want you to have fun with this. So I want you to think about, I don't know, you can copy a character, your favorite character. You could create a character. You could create a picture of an animal, any object that you like. For purposes of getting through this video quicker so that you can have fun, I'm going to do like a simple smiley face. It's a really terrible circle, but you have to understand that I'm actually doing this on my Mac without a drawing tablet. But the really cool thing is that I can change the shape of the paintbrush. I can change the size of it, make it thicker, thinner. And I can also use my direct selection tool to fix my circle. So by clicking and letting go, I can click on each of these points to make my circle a little bit nicer looking. I can also, using my pen tool, whoops. All right, forget I went over that. Using my pen tool, okay, the one on the left, do delete anchor points, so I can delete some of my points if I wanted to, if I thought I had too many. All right, it's a little bit better. My first initial circle was a little pathetic. Okay. Sometimes deleting points just makes it so much nicer, makes your edges a lot smoother. Okay. All right, so there's my pathetic circle for my smiley face. Notice I'm doing this in my outline. Then actually, I think I'm going to draw the smile. I actually like that paintbrush too. Maybe I'll change it back to that. Okay. And then add my eyeballs. Okay, so there's my smiley face. So there's my outline. So then what I'm going to do is add my color. So the reason I'm going to add my color underneath is because if I placed this layer on top of, I make it like standard yellow, using my blob brush tool, make it yellow. Okay, so notice it didn't make it, it didn't connect. So I'm going to just select it again, make it yellow, and now it should be fine. Okay, so right now I'm painting in my color layer, okay? It goes over the my outline, okay? I don't want it to go over my outline. I want it to be underneath my outline. So that's why you want your color to be underneath. So when you color in, is going to color underneath your outline that you created. Okay. So for this assignment, I know I did, so you can see it's one layer. A very simple object like a smiley face. But what I would like you to do is just have fun with the paintbrush and the blob brush. You know, you have your eraser here if you need to erase something. Okay. And maybe copy an image. Copy an image of your favorite cartoon character. Come up with some sort of an object that you would like to draw. And I'll count that as your first in-class activity for learning Adobe Illustrator. All right. If you wanted to in your free time, you can also search Adobe Illustrator tutorials on your own if there's something else after you finish this that you'd be curious on learning. Right? But that's it for